Hey, welcome back, guys. For the people that don't know me, hey, I am Marsh. I'm the #1 Bloodhound on Apex Legends currently. And for the people that do know me, welcome back to the channel. I'm glad you guys are here. Thank you guys for supporting me all the time. I love you guys. So, if you guys have been struggling to get high kill games, if you guys have been struggling to just enjoy the game because of the cranked up SBMM, or just wanting to improve or settle on some settings and you can't find any, today I will be giving you guys my best controller settings for Season 9 of Apex Legends. Now this is gonna be a little different for PC and console, as there is some different codings for aim assist on it. So I will be giving you guys both of them. They're very slight differences and I will be explaining them once I get there. But without further ado, let's get right into the settings. So I'm gonna head over to my settings right now. I'm gonna explain every single one of these one by one. We're gonna go all the way to controller and add a little bit for video and audio. So before we do that, I will be going over the gameplay. Let's start. The first one is interact prompt style. Now this, what it basically does is it will give you a little information box whenever you pick up a gun. When you get the game, it is on default. And what that does is basically it gives you a big information box, tell you everything about the gun or about the grenade or anything you're picking up. I keep this on compact because I know the guns. I've been playing this game for long enough, and if you guys know the guns, know what you like and know what they do, keep it on compact. It looks cleaner, it improves your game experience. But if you're new to the game, keep it on default until you learn every single gun, and if you need a reminder. Same concept for button hints. These ones, for example, I'm on an Xbox controller. I don't know which button it does for like PS4 or whatnot, but what this does is basically when you're trying to reload, press X, or when you're trying to switch guns, press Y. You know, it'll give you the little buttons. Or when you want to use your grenades, press up on the D-pad. I'd turn these off because I know what buttons do what on my controller, and if you guys do, again, I would suggest turning these off. It looks cleaner, it looks better. But if ever you guys are newer to the game and still need them, that is completely fine. Keep them on until you know what does what. And it's completely fine to have them on for either one of these. It is completely fine. I just keep them off because it makes the game look cleaner. For crosshair damage feedbacks, now I strongly suggest to stay on X with shield icon. What this does is basically when you hit somebody with a bullet, on default it is with X and shield icon, you'll get a little X on your reticle, and you'll get a purple shield, blue shield, or red shield, or white shield indicator next to that. Again, keep this on. It tells you which shield you are and if you hit a bullet. Now there are some maniacs that run this off or with X. I don't know how you guys do it, and I literally want to know. Please put it down in the comments if you put off or X. How do you do it? Who hurt you? Like this, if you just put X, you don't know what shield they have, and if you put off, you don't even know if you hit the guy. And with all the bugs in the game, you could think you hit him half the time and you didn't even hit him. So just tell me how you guys do it in the comments if you put them on, even though I strongly doubt there's anybody who puts them off. Same thing for damage numbers. I either say put them on stacking or put them on both. What off does is basically, again, please tell me who hurt you. You're not seeing damage number, you're not seeing how much you do. So unless you're Einstein and you can remember every bullet that hit and how much damage that gun does on every character, whether they're 4-5, low profile, you know, a foot hit, a chest hit, or a headshot, I don't know how you run off. As for stacking, stacking shows the combined numbers. So let's say you hit him with 3 bullets that do 13 damage. The only number you're going to see is 39. As for floating, same example, you hit him with 3 bullets that do 13 damage, it'll show 3 13 damage numbers back to back, but you're not going to get a 39. As for both, you're gonna get the 3 13 damages, and on top of that, you're gonna get the 39 for the total damage that adds up as you do more damage. I keep it on both. I know a lot of people say it clogs up their space. For me, it doesn't bother me too much as it's over the person. It even helps me aim because the damage numbers stay over that person, so it's sort of like a mini wall hack. But if ever you are to run one of the other, either do both or stacking, they are the most effective in this category. For ping, I'd say keep this on faded. Even if you're new to the game, keep it on faded because default, it's a hard ping. Basically, you can't see through it. And let's say somebody pings and then there's an enemy behind it. You're not even gonna see the guy. You're just gonna see a bright yellow ping. It's it just messes with what you see. I'd say keep it on faded if you can. If you have it on default, you'll switch it right away. Obituaries, I have this on. Again, some people put it off, it doesn't really matter. I just like knowing who I kill and who kills me, or what's going on in the game, who has what gun, what's going on. For ranked, if they have knocks for a third party, I just suggest having this on. It does help. Minimap rotation, a lot of people have this on off. I have very rarely met somebody that has it on. Again, this is personal preference. I like having it off because the map layout stays the same. If you have it on, what it will basically do is your cursor on the map, your little arrow will stay facing north, but the map around it will move. As if it is off, your cursor will move, but the map will stay facing the same way it usually stays. So this is basically if you want your cursor to move or your map to move. I keep it off because I like having the same map layout and seeing where my character is headed, but again, you can have it on, it doesn't matter too much. Weapon sight auto cycle on empty. I keep this on, you can have it off again, it doesn't matter. Just if ever you have it off, be aware of how many bullets you have left in your gun. Now this will only cycle your gun if your gun is completely depleted of ammo. That means you have none in the clip and none in the in your inventory left. It'll switch automatically to your other gun. I found this to be pretty useful to have it on, because sometimes you're too caught up in a fight, you don't see that you're running out of ammo. Then you run out and, oh, your flatline pops up rather than you just having clicks because you're trying to shoot an empty gun. Again, off or on, doesn't matter. My preference is on. I like it on. Same for auto sprint, it's a preference. Ideally, you'd want to have this off, but as controller players, everybody knows some of them don't last long, and some of the sticks are absolutely, like, they get destroyed. If you're on a raggedy ass controller, I'd say keep this on. If you're not, if it's a new controller, you can have it off. Even if I'm on a new controller, I keep it on just because I don't know when my controller is going to break. So I keep it on to sort of maximize the amount of time I have on this controller. A double tap sprint, keep it off. Don't put it on. It's not even a preference. It'll hinder your ability to win gunfights if you have it on, because you're going to be over there trying to press 100 times before you sprint. And just keep it off. For jetpack control, now this is for Valkyrie. If you guys want to wall jump, put it on hold. Hold is probably the best thing you can do. I have mine on toggle because I just haven't switched mine because I don't use Valkyrie. But put it on hold, it'll allow you to wall jump and it'll allow you to have better control over your jetpacks. Incoming damage feedback, keep this on 3D. It'll just mess with your vision if you put it on both or 2D. It just isn't clear enough. So keep this on 3D. Now this one is one of the most important settings. Taking damage closes death box or crafting menu. Now some people prefer to have it off, I don't know why. If you're trying to shield swap and somebody hits one bullet on you and you have this on, you're out the box, your shield swap is fucked up and you're just standing there looking like an idiot. Keep it off, it'll help you with shield swaps and it'll help you with looting. If you think you can take damage, again, this is all to the user's best knowledge. If you don't know when to pull out of a fight, if you don't know how fast the gun is going to down you, keep it on, it'll help you. But if you're a more seasoned player and you want to get better at the game and shield swaps, keep this off. It will improve your gameplay by 200%, 300%. It is just that much better. Now the hop-up, pop-up, I'm not too sure what this does. It just determines whether the hop-up goes on a weapon or not. Just put it on. They add hop-ups all the time. You don't, even still, I just found out the Deadeye's Tempo goes on Sentinel. Again, this is useful. Turn it off if you know what goes on what. I still have it on because of the new hop-ups that just came into the game. As for streamer mode, there's really no reason to have this on unless you're like Asu or Shiv or anything, and to prevent stream sniping. What this will basically do is the people in the kill feed, you're not gonna see their names. You're gonna see like Gibraltar 321 or Wraith 5743, and you're just going to see that, and then the person that killed you is gonna be like Bloodhound 5743. If you have this off, you're gonna see the people's name. You're gonna see you're not gonna see the characters, but you're gonna see their names and what they're using. If you have this on killer only, it's just the person that kills you that their name will not pop up. It'll be like Wraith and some numbers behind them, or Bloodhound, some numbers behind him. And if you have this on all, It'll hide the kill feed and the person that killed you. Anonymous mode, I usually have this enabled because I do get stream sniped a lot. Now, recently I've been playing a lot of ranked, and it is so much harder to stream snipe somebody on ranked, so I just have it disabled. There's really no reason to have it enabled if you don't stream or if you're not a big content creator. And if you are a big content creator, there's no reason to have it disabled. I'm not the biggest, don't have that many viewers. So I keep it disabled, especially when I'm in ranked. When I'm in pubs, I'll keep it enabled to prevent people from griefing me. Again, I'm the #1 Bloodhound, so people do chase me around and they will literally change their entire playstyle according to whether I'm in the game or not. It happens to a lot of people. So unless people know you in the community, keep it disabled. There's no real reason to keep it enabled. Usage sharing, this just helps Respawn just have it enabled. It helps them with bugs, it helps them with fixes, and if you have it disabled, you're just injuring the game itself. Performance display, I suggest to have this on. This will clog a little bit of the vision on the top right, but it is worth it. Basically what this will tell you is your frames, your pings, your choke in and out, and it will give you information on whether on what's happening basically with your data. This helps a lot for me personally with my ping to know if I can play on a server or not, why I'm lagging, if it's my frames or if it's my ping that's skyrocketing, if I'm getting packet loss. This just helps me a lot with determining what servers I'm going to play on, what I'm going to play on if I have to restart my game. It just helps. Club invites, I'd say have this enabled, disabled, it's a personal preference. If the guys in your club are annoying, just spamming invites, have it disabled. And if not, have it enabled. It doesn't really have any downsides, to be honest, on the game. A colorblind mode. Now, this one's an interesting one. A lot of the people either have it off or on tritanopia. I have it off. It doesn't really help me to see my reticles yellow or not. What tritanopia will do is it'll put your reticles and the Watson fences to yellow. That is a little easier to see when your reticles are yellow. Again, it doesn't matter too much. I keep it on off. Don't run these two, they look like poo-poo. Do whatever and pro whatever. Keep it on off or the try. Subtitles off, they just clog up vision. You don't need help to basically hear what they're saying. As for subtitles and chat features, again, keep it on normal or off. It doesn't really help you in any way, shape, or form. And convert incoming voice to chat text. Who hurt you if you put this on? It's just clogging up your vision for nothing. As for the controller settings, I keep mine on default. I play claw. Now what claw is basically, I'm going to show you guys on screen right now what it is. This is my hands when I play. This is how I position my hand on my controller, just so you guys can see. This finger usually uses this trigger to pull. You waste 3 fingers in the back. I call these wasted fingers because you're not doing anything apart from holding the controller. When you play claw, this finger will move up to here and this finger will press the buttons. Now this is good for crouch spamming, reloading, switching guns, or just jumping in general, so you won't have to like use your thumb and lose this mobility. You can crouch spam while, you know, doing what you do. It's very useful for just having it on default. Claw works great. If you have paddles, I suggest keeping it on default and not playing claw. Using your paddles in the back, these fingers become useful fingers, not wasted. Apart from like pinkies, nobody uses pinkies, whatever you do. Again, I keep this on default. I heard that customize can be good, and button puncher is decent. Again, this is personal preference. Mine, I keep it on default and play claw. Stick layout default. Now this is just Southpaw, Legacy, or Legacy Southpaw. I don't know anybody that does use any. Actually, I know one. Gate Relentless, a 100,000 Bangalore, uses inverted for his sticks. Again, it doesn't matter. That's a preference matter. Reload. Now you want to have this on tap to use. You don't want to be holding your button for 3 decades while you're in a gunfight and have the guy kill you before you can even reload. Use this on tap. You just want to tap when you want to reload. You don't want to hold. For crouch, I alternate between the two, to be honest. Hold is very good. You have more control on your crouch. Toggle is just good for, again, broken and raggedy controllers. You can have it on hold. It'll just help you with crouch spamming. It'll help you with everything that has to do with crouching again. If ever you don't play claw, you might want to have it on toggle. If ever you have paddles, you want to have it on hold. And if you just have a default controller and do not play claw, have it on toggle, because you don't want to lose that thumb on your stick. So only times you're going to want it on hold is if you play claw or you have paddles and you can reroute the crouch button onto one of your paddles. The aim button, you want this on hold unless you want to toggle to aim in. What toggle is basically going to do, you press your trigger once, you'll keep aiming until you press it again. Now this is very clunky, it's annoying, it doesn't help you in any single way. Have it on hold, your gameplay is going to be a lot more fluid. I don't know who switches to toggle, I've never met anybody who uses toggle. Now the survival slot button. To be more effective, have it on. If you just want to be flashy and flip your kunai or flip your any heirloom, have it off. What this basically does is, for heat shields or mobile respawns, it'll be right on the D-pad if you have it on. And if you have it off, you're gonna need to go in your menu, in your inventory, go all the way to the down right, and use your survival items from there. It's not useful, but if you want to make flashy plays, trick shots or whatever, have it on off. You can flip your heirloom with that. It's really useless to have it off, but if you want to be flashy, have it off. Trigger dead zones. Now this one's interesting. I don't know why somebody would put it at max unless your trigger is broken. Keep it on none at all times. What this means is basically, there's a guy standing in front of me and I'm standing in front of him. If I have mine on none and he has his on max, I'm shooting before him if we pull the triggers at the same time. If you put it on max, there's a delay before you shoot. This is basically for broken controllers. If ever your trigger shoots on its own, that's the only time you want to have it up. And as the controller breaks more, you gradually put it up to default, moderate, high, and max. But I highly suggest having this on none. It'll help you with fluidity and you're gonna be the first one to shoot. As for cursor speed, you want to find, this is very, very personal. I like mine as slack in the middle. What this does is basically how fast this little cursor moves. Like, you can see how fast I move it up and down right now. Let's say I put it up, all the way up, you see how fast I move now. This helps with shield swaps, but again, if you put it too high, it'll be detrimental to you because you won't be able to control it. Let's say you have it on high and you're trying to put look sensitivity, you're just gonna do this and you're just gonna go around until you finally like hit the spot. Having it on middle or lower is a lot easier to select things, but again, you're slower. I keep mine in the middle, a mix of accuracy and speed for shield swaps, as if you miss your shield swap, it's useless to do it fast, you're missing it anyways. Again, it's a personal preference. I'd say anywhere from a quarter to a little over middle is good, but I prefer mine like slack in the middle. It's great for me, it works for me. For sensitivity, now this one you want to keep your look sensitivity on 4, 5, or 6. My favorite ones is 5.4 or 6.4. This works great for me. Look sensitivity is great for doing 360s if you're getting shot, just movement in general. If ever you are able to control 6, control 6. I have my good days and my bad days, I keep it on 5 to be sure. And for look sensitivity, this is for aiming down sights. Again, you can have per optic. I keep it off because I like having mine on 4. But apart from muscle memory, you'd want to have these on 4 and gradually ramping up as these are more zoomed in. So let's say I have this one on 4, I'd have this one on 4 as well, and this one on, this one can go 4, 5, this one can go 5, and then this one can go 6, and so on and so forth until, and keep 6 at your max. This is basically because they're so zoomed in, you want to be able to have the maximum amount of control over them. As for the response curve, I keep mine on classic. If ever you keep yours on classic, keep your dead zones on none. I don't know anybody who runs steady, fine aim, or high velocity. The other ones that usually run a lot is linear. Linear and classic have a similar feel. A classic with no dead zones feels like linear, and linear with small or large dead zones feels like classic. Now again, classic you'll have more control over your aim. Linear is a little more automatic. it's more flowy. Linear classic is a little more blocky, but you have more control and fine-tuning on your aims. Every single little detail that you put on your stick will be recorded with classic. As for linear with large or small, you want to keep these on. This will be a little more flowy. You'll be able to track a little better. You want to keep it on small because if ever you keep it on none, your controller will literally do 360s on its own on linear. You don't want to have no dead zones on linear. As for classics, you don't want to have no dead zones at all. You want every single movement to be recorded. Movement dead zones. Keep this on small. Again, this is for busted controllers. If ever you move on your own, put it on large. But unless your controller is busted, keep this on small. Inverted look. Again, I only know one person who uses inverted who hurts you again. Don't put inverted. It's just my brain hurts. Vibrations. You don't want vibrations on. Some people says it helps them like control, recoil, and whatnot. There's literally no reason why you'd have this on. Keep it off. You don't want any movement on your controller when you're trying to beam somebody. It just deteriorates your aim. As for ALCs, I have these off. I don't have any ALC settings that have worked for me. I've tried multiple of them and it's never worked out for me. The thing I hate about ALCs is you always have to fine tune them. You're never gonna have that sweet spot where you can keep it on all the time. You're always fine tuning it. You're always changing it. And it just does not work for me. I'm never satisfied with my advanced controls as these. While this controller layout has made me improve a lot as a player. Now there's not much left to the video. This is again personal preference. I hate having music and lobby blasting my ears while I like hearing every single footstep, so sound effect and dialogue for my teammates, characters screaming third party. These two you don't want to have on it either. They don't help you at all. As for video brightness, a lot of people don't talk about this, but you want to have it a little higher than the middle. This is for dark areas, caves, buildings, corners. You'll be able to see people a little clearer if you have it on. Here, you're just... Here, if ever you have it here, it's basically you ever tried staring into the sun, you're going to burn your eyes. Keep it over here, keep it over here. I'd say between the second to last bar is perfect. I keep mine at the beginning of it because I like having a lot of contrast, but having it a little brighter than usual. As for the field of view, I keep mine 110. Now there is a reason behind this. Ideally, you'd want your field of view to be between 90 and 100 for any other character than Bloodhound. For Bloodhound, his ultimate, as I spoke about in another video, boosts your field of view to 110, or if you're on PC, 120. And this just helps me feel more natural all the time. With Bloodhound, the field of view is kept at 110 for his ultimate that boosts to 110. And again, you want minimal amount of movement on your screen that you're not the one controlling. So again, sprint view shape is on minimal. Now, as for the PC part, if you're on control on PC, this changes a little bit. The sensitivity will change a little bit. You want to have yours a little lower if you're on PC, like 4.3 or 5.3, whichever one you prefer. This is because your aim assist is a tiny bit lower, so you want to be able to stay on target more than be able to move around quicker. If you want to have more movement, keep it higher, but as it goes for aim, keep it a little lower. And that's basically it for the video. I hope these settings do help you guys out. Again, that's the best settings I can give you for myself and for you guys. And I hope these help, and I will see you guys in another video.